Press agents who run out of questions. Palm trees and warm sands on April 16th. These are a few of my favorite things. There you go. Very good. Give yourself a hint. Yeah. So I'm here for you. So we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about.
I'm going to give you a microphone. As a freelance artist, what kind of entity would you file as?
Well, by default, you are all... Anybody in business here? Who's in business? Who is an entrepreneur? Everyone say, I am an entrepreneur.
I am an entrepreneur.
And you are in business. You're in business, you want to make a profit, and you are a sole proprietor. A sole proprietor. So if you wanted to form another entity, right, a living, breathing entity, like a corporation or a partnership, then you could. But by default, you are a sole proprietor, each and every one of you. So until you get together. I saw a couple of partnerships going on.
What kind of things can I deduct as an artist?
You can deduct anything. So the IRS says if you have a business, then you can deduct something called business expenses. Now what's a business expense? Well, the IRS has a rule that says that something is a business expense if it meets two criteria. If it's ordinary and necessary for your business. And who gets to decide that? That's you. You get to decide whether it's ordinary and necessary. So, for example, maybe some of you have to pay to get in tonight. Of course, you got a receipt, right? And and this is part of your professional development. Maybe you had to travel to get here, and maybe you are going to take one of your new friends out to dinner tonight to discuss your artist business. Or one of you want to take me out to dinner to discuss your artist business. What else might you want to deduct, right? You may have some crayons. Anybody have crayons and pencils and paper and...
What about an art studio?
An art studio, right? If you pay rent, anybody pay rent for a studio, and they don't use it as much as they should? Right? You have to pay rent? Does that sound like it's ordinary and necessary?
Yeah.
Right, what else?
Travel.
How about a cell phone? Anybody have a cell phone?
Right.
Nobody has a cell phone. Do you use it for your business?
Yes.
Very good, very good.
Is there like a percentage you can deduct from your, let's say, rent if your studio is at home?
There is, and the IRS has a silly rule that says that if you have your home office, you have to have a partitioned area. Obviously, that rule was written many moons ago and not in New York City. If my apartment is about the size of that stool, I have to do all of my daily living needs in one place. But you can deduct part of your home for your business. You just need to take your total square foot for your apartment, and then the total square foot that you use exclusively for your business, and then and maybe your total utilities. Anyone have to pay Con Ed? Very good. And so you do a little division, and then there you go. Yeah.
Well, I've heard though that if you do that, if you take out part of your rent as your studio, that you're more likely to get audited. Do you know if that's true?
It is true. It's true. But if it's true that you use your home for your office, right? The people who have day jobs, right?
Right.
That are soul sucking, right? They don't need an office because their employer provides a place for them to do their mining in the salt mines. Right? So, but if you have a business, anyone have a business? Right? Then you need a place for your business to do business. Right?
Right.
Right? You need to go get up and go to work. Right? And you need to go to that space in your hovel to work. Yes?
What if you have a day job and your own business?
Well, if you have a day job and your own business, are you still in business?
Yes.
You are. Right. And maybe your hope is that one day you can tell the nice people at the day job some nice words. Nice words.
Is there like a percentage or anything like
A
that?
percentage?
Like that you need to make in the day job versus freelancing or anything like that? Or
No, you just try to get income, right? If you're trying to produce income from your business, then you're an entrepreneur and you have a business. And maybe people hire you to do stuff and they pay you, and you have maybe you have a separate bank account and you put it in there, and maybe they issue you a 1099 because they pay you more than $600, and you file just like a business. You know, a sole proprietor would file a Form Schedule C. Who's ever heard of Form Schedule C? A lot of you. Very good. Who knows how to make a C? Very good. I was going to sing that song, My CPA, but I don't have the backing.
When should I file?
When should you file? Well, let's see. Today is March 21st. Anyone know when tax day is?
April 15th.
April 15th. Okay, now which year are you talking about?
This year.
Okay, so if you're filing for 2012, your taxes are due
April
April
15th.
15th, so now is probably a good time to start thinking about it. Of course, there are lots of other types of taxes. There's something called sales tax. Everyone say boo. Boo. Right? Sales tax was March 20th, which was yesterday. Sorry, you're late. Sales tax on tangible personal property. Anyone who sell comic books to retail customers? Right, New York State might say. What would New York State might say?
Give us money.
That's right. Well, that's another topic. Yeah.
Wait there.
Are Kickstarters deductions, and are they tax deductible?
Okay, are Kickstarters deductions? Now let's see if we can translate that question into English. Kickstarters deductions. So I guess what he's saying, I guess the question is, if I contribute to my friend here, to his Kickstarter campaign, is that a tax deductible thing for myself? Well, he certainly doesn't look like a charity. And he's not a charity, so it's not. However, if you have a business, you want to get in really good with him because he has a book coming out, and maybe it's part of your promotion or advertising, maybe you can deduct it that way as a business expense. But ordinarily, it wouldn't be charity, although, you know. Yeah.
What if it's like an investment in the arts, like when you go to a movie or something that's like...
An investment in the arts.
If you're an artist...
My aunt told me that Identity Thief is a good movie, so I should see it. That means I'm investing in the arts. Well, it sounds like you're saying, hey, Stephen, if I go to the movies with one of my artistic friends here who I met tonight at Dare2Draw, and I need, as a business owner, I've determined I need to be exposed to pop culture and $100 million films, right, or flops. I need to do my research. If you determine that that's research, does that sound like it's ordinary and necessary for your business?
Yes.
Excellent. The answer is yes. Anyone else? Does that answer the question? Yes.
I've got a complicated one for you. I'm not an American citizen. I've been doing my taxes for the the Exchequer in Britain. End of February, I got my my Social Security number in America for the first time.
And you've been here for how long?
So I have not made any money since February.
Everyone say, oh.
Well, not since I have invoiced, but I haven't received and paid for it.
Rich and accounts receivable.
So if do I have to file this year if the money arrives before the April 15th?
So we're talking about 2013, right? 2013 taxes are due when?
April 15th.
Okay.
That's 14. It's not 14.
Very good, very good. And to which form for you to file, if you were going to file a form, would be determined by how many days you have feet there. Very good. How many days have your feet been in the U.S. in the last 3 years? And we would do a little calculation to determine whether you meet the substantial presence test. And we would determine whether you're a non-resident or a resident, if you're a permanent resident, and even if you're not a U.S. citizen, you can still be a permanent resident. And of course in New York State is a lovely, lovely place. If your feet, even if you're not a U.S. citizen, if your feet are on the ground for 183 days then you're considered a statutory resident of New York State. And so you need to file just like for the rest of us, for a New York State resident. But if you have no income, how much tax is he going to pay?
Zero.
Because income tax is based on income.
It's
So
based
no
on
income.
receiving, on the time you receive the money or the time you invoice for it?
Well, you are on the cash basis. Everybody say cash basis?
Cash basis.
So cash basis means that when you get cash, you have income. Right? When you bill,
None.
there's something called the accrual basis of accounting, which is very cruel. Because if you bill and you're on the accrual basis, then you have to pay taxes on it. Everybody say boo.
Boo.
Very good. What's next?
Probably not gonna ever send a 1099, and a lot of them, and I don't think I've done a good job keeping track of it. How am I supposed to deal with all that stuff anyway?
Do you deposit the checks that you get in the bank?
Yes.
Okay, that'd be a good place to start. Your bank statements. Your bank statements might be a good place for you to determine what your income is. And if you have a separate bank account for your business, at the end of the year, it'll be much easier to find where your income is. And if you use a debit card or you use a credit card that's linked to your business checking account, then it'll be really easy and you can be really organized. Does that help? Cool.
Right, one more question. Anybody else?
Last question?
I have a question that I'm not too sure. Talking about Kickstarter, the money itself that we would get from Kickstarter, what is that money considered? Would it, in a sense, for the IRS? Would it be something that would be considered a gift or something that's considered a taxable income that we would have to fill out like a 1099 miscellaneous?
Wow, you know that question is so easy that I'm going to let an artist answer it. We have an artist right here in the front.
Hello. Okay, so the way that Kickstarter has it set up, if you get over a certain amount from your campaign, you get a 1099. So I think it's like over $20,000 or something in that area. I'd have to look it up again. But basically, it is considered personal income. So you would receive a 1099 from Amazon, basically, after they take out their chunk, whatever that chunk is. It's usually 3 to 5% for Kickstarter, and then like another 5% for Amazon.
So they each take out a percentage?
They each take out a percentage, and that percentage actually comes out because there's a holding period also. There's a 3 to 4 week holding period before you receive the funds in your Amazon payment account.
All right, so after the 30 days, you've got...
Right, you get... Okay, so say your campaign is successful. You know, in my case, I got $50,000, right?
Yeah.
Don't boo, it doesn't last. Kickstarter, off the top, before I even receive a dime, already takes $6,000, like $5,000 to $6,000, between Kickstarter and Amazon. So that money is gone. So at the end of the year, you get your 1099. That is based off of what they already took out and what they put in your Amazon payment account. And
that's it. All right.
Yeah. So, guys, just so you know, Steve's going to stick around a little bit, so if you have some more questions, he'll be here for us. Hang out. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jamal. Alright, Jamal's going to talk to us a little bit.